Hey, what's up? I'm Axel from Symfoniac, and today we're going to show you how to get up and running with Symfony. We're going to look at installing Symfony and eventually creating your first page, step by step. Okay, so go to the installation page on the official Symfony website. I will put a link in the description below the video so you won't have to look for it. I'm going to install Symfony through Composer. I know Sensio Labs made a Symfony installer, but I don't really see the point. Most people already have Composer installed on their computer. If not, go grab it. Again, the link is in the description. You will need Composer anyway for installing dependencies. Okay, so let's proceed. I'm going to copy this line here, creating a Symfony application with Composer. This should be executed from your terminal window. Let's paste it here. The project name will be the name of your folder that will be created. In this folder, a standard edition of Symfony will be installed. So I'm going to call this folder Symfoniac and hit enter. Now Composer will create the Symfony project structure and install all Symfony's dependencies like Doctrine and Twig in a vendor folder. Here you have to fill out your configuration options, which in this case is my MySQL host. I'm going to leave it like this because we're not going to really use a database. So it's not quite necessary. Okay, so we're already done. Let's see how our project directory is looking. I'm going to open up PHP Storm and the directory that was created for me. Let's have a look in here. We have a composer.json file which contains all dependencies that we need. So that's great, that works like it should. There was also a gitignore file created for us containing some paths that we don't want to commit when using Git, like caching folders or logs, or sensitive info like in our parameters.yaml file. That is where our database connection info ended up. So okay, this is pretty cool. The basic installation even created an app bundle for us with a basic controller called default controller, and it has one method. So we can get started right away. Let's open up a browser and see what this did for us. Make sure that your local server like MAMP or such is pointing to the web directory here in your project directory. I'm going to open up my browser and I have the link to my local host in my bookmarks bar, which in my case is symfoniac.dev. Alright, nice. We already have a page to look at. Now let's go check out the code and see how we got to this page. Let's open up my PHP Storm again. First of all, what file are we looking at when we open our browser? If we look inside the web directory, we see two files, app.php and app.dev.php. By default, the htaccess file declares that app.php should be the directory index, so we're actually looking at app.php. Now let's try and open app.dev.php. What is going on there? Open up the browser again and add app_dev.php to our host. Now what has changed? If you go to the application through app.dev, first of all, you're not using the application's caches. If you were to change configuration or annotations or templates and you would just refresh using app.php, you would see no changes. So if you're developing, always use app.dev, which is what we will be doing. Also, when you use app.dev, you have the Symfony profile toolbar at the bottom of the page. You probably already noticed this one appearing. And it has a bunch of different stuff in here, like what controller method is this page originating from. In our case, it's the default controller and the index action inside it. Let's go back to PHP Storm. Okay, so how does this happen? When we hit app or appdev.php, Symfony will start looking for a controller function, a controller method, that matches our route, which is basically just a slash. So this opens up the exact same page with or without the slash. This is the default route. And this one is named homepage. It's all fit within this add route annotation above the controller method called index action. And if we change this first parameter, which is the path, if we change this into something else like Symfony, I know I'm getting repetitive, and we refresh our page, Symfony can't find a route for Git. Well, that's just because we just changed the route we had before. So if we add the part that we added in the code, like Symfony, we're back where we left. So let's change this back to the way it was and empty out this method so we can do something of our own. First, we're going to create our first template. For that, we will be needing a resources directory within our app bundle. This is where all your stuff goes, like your SAS files, your JavaScript files, your templates, of course. I'll create another directory here called views. And I'll be creating a file called, I'm just going to go with a cliche, hello world.html.twig. Remember, twig is our templating engine that Symfony uses by default. Let's just create a basic HTML5 document here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put out the cliche right here in an h1 header. Go back to the controller. Here we're gonna return our template that we just made with the this render method. It's a public method of the base controller here. App bundle hello world.html.twig. Let's go back to our browser, hit refresh. Hello world. This is the template that we just created. Of course, you will not be just putting out hello world. You want to be passing parameters onto your template. I'm going to do so very basic, just my name to greet myself, name Axel. And to pass on parameters to the view, we have to pass on an array. I'm going to put a first key here, name, which will be name. And if I do this like this, I can use this array key as a variable name in my Twig template. But Twig is not going to accept PHP like this, echo name. That will not be working. The syntax is a little bit different. If you want to print out a variable, you do it with the curly brackets and just type in the name. Let's head over to our browser again, hit refresh, and there you have it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions or ideas for new tutorials, feel free to post them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.